The world's two biggest economies, the United States and China, are once again locking horns over trade. In this week's Business and Finance Weekly, Nasser Jamal unpacks what this growing tariff war means for global markets and why countries like Pakistan should be paying close attention. Let's break it down. Last Friday, China hiked tariffs on US goods to 125%, responding to President Donald Trump's earlier move to raise duties on Chinese exports. But this time, Beijing says it's done playing. A spokesperson called it a numbers game that no longer makes economic sense and suggested they'll ignore future US tariffs altogether. Trump, on the other hand, says his strategy is working really well, but markets are telling a different story. The US dollar is sliding, investors are pulling out of US assets, and gold prices have hit record highs, a sign that people are looking for safer bets. Even US government bonds, usually one of the world's safest investments, are being sold off. This is not just a US-China fight, it's shaking the entire global economy. A top UN economist says global trade could shrink by 3%. That means supply chains will shift, alliances may change, and new power centers could emerge. Even the US Federal Reserve is warning that inflation could rise faster than expected. For Pakistan, this adds more uncertainty. The country is already facing higher US tariffs, and a global slowdown could hit exports, growth, and job creation. At its core, this trade war is about more than numbers. China's new white paper outlines its position. It accuses the US of acting unilaterally, violating trade rules, and using tariffs as a weapon. Still, Beijing says it's open to equal-footed dialogue, but only if the US is willing to negotiate fairly. It's important to remember the US and China are deeply linked. In 2022 alone, American companies earned nearly $490 billion from China, and over half of China's exports go to the US. So while Washington talks rivalry, the economic relationship runs much deeper. As Nasser Jamal points out, it's still too early to say how this will all play out. But what's clear is this: the longer the standoff lasts, the more everyone stands to lose. And in a trade war of this scale, there may be no winners. For more explainers on Pakistan's economy and global trends, subscribe to DawnNews English.